My name is Yujin Son. My astrology sign is Scorpio. I am from South Korea, but I grew up in China, spent most of my life there so far, and I'm currently based in Queens.
You're working on the digital side of art. What about technology grabs your attention?
Felt like it was bringing my 2D art to 3D, was putting more dimension and life to it. It's like, you know, for example, 3D, you can like see your character from front, back, top, and you can design it, you can mold it basically. So that really enables creativity. But I want to say technology feels like the mind of machines. It's like something floating in the air, and it's like magic. You can, if you can capture it and if you can like shape it into something, it's a powerful tool.
What is your favorite software to work with?
Favorite software, I would say Photoshop.
Okay, your illustrations take on this tragically beautiful blend of horror and sci-fi. What inspires you?
Ooh, I don't know why, but since I was a kid, like I always looked into heavy feelings such as loneliness, pain, depression. It's probably related to, like childhood, because I am Korean, but I was growing up in a different country, being exposed to different cultures. It kind of gave me identity crisis, and also I guess I'm like very scorpionic, sensitive person. Like, oh my god, like everything is like sort of like see things that you can't really describe. Like, okay, like these feelings are really gnarly and tangled and visceral, and I start to imagine that as very like horror looking. Like, I guess easiest way to put it is, okay, like emotions described as illustrations. Like, oh, depression, you draw like very sticky, like gross thing, or anger, you draw very like spiky and like violent things. And funny, and I feel like that rawness of the emotions were they were connecting to, let's say, like skeletal structures of metals, which later develop into machines, and that start to go into sci-fi, horror to sci-fi.
Take me through your creative process.
Okay. I think big part of my creative process is obviously brainstorming, the first stage of the process, which is also very fun because you're mostly imagining. And when I get inspired, I take a long walk usually, so I'm like trying to like picture, like, okay, like where am I gonna put where, or where am I gonna place what elements. Like I go through like 10 different like copy layers of things in my head. Yeah. And then when I feel comfortable, like, okay, I think I know how it's gonna look like, then I bring out papers or a computer to just draw, sketch out things, add things, or take out things. Sometimes just scrunch the whole thing and start again. Like the process of the artist. Yeah. And then oh, I just noticed that I like to tell stories in my artwork. Like there's always something going on, like not just one representation of one thing. It's gonna be how did that happen, and why, and how it might end. Usually I leave it open and end it. So that's yeah, sketches to storyboards, and then I decide, should I, like, what medium I'm going to make it into. Is it gonna,
What lights you up about your work?
what lights me up on my work? When I meet people who connects with it, and then when we talk about it, like, oh, they know what I'm drawing, like what they see in my drawing. And that sense of connection, and slowly hoping to, and also it is slowly building some sort of like community. And it's very nice feeling, because not only that people appreciate my work, but also we are gathering as like-minded people, which is really hard to find in New York or anywhere. There are tons of people, but you can't. It's hard to find your group.
Yeah. Okay. What's the vision you hold for yourself and your career? What's the ultimate impact of your dream you dream of? What's the ultimate impact you dream of?
Ooh. I career wise and also to fulfill my need of or wanting to stay creative, I dream about becoming an art director. Yeah, like in a game or a movie or any kind of entertainment because I really like making storyboards and I like working with people and um, I like the feeling of sharing a pain as like fellow artists, you know, like you don't sleep, you draw like 1,000 frames, like that kind of stuff. But also, I wanted to say that I think artists kind of struggle with career thing usually because they don't know like how to utilize or apply their creativity. So I'm like these days I'm like freelancing at the same time. I'm trying to be more flexible instead of being like lone wolf solo stubborn artist trying to like collaborate and work with people a bit more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah that's why I said I want to become an art director. And other than that, I am still like exploring job wise. Yeah, I'm still exploring job wise and what I want to. Like, where can I find a sweet spot between job and my creativity? Yeah, I don't know, that was such a like really jumbled answer.
No, it's kind of a hard question.
Yeah.
How would you want to be supported more in the art world?
How? I mean, I'm not a person like go out like, hey, look at my work. Like, I'm not like that person. But for artists in general, I think they need to be like dug out a bit more because they're hermits. Depends on the artist's personality, but I think they need to be exposed more and like yeah, of course, as an artist, you can like look up on the internet and find opportunities or like group shows and all this stuff. But I like I feel like art is not as that interesting for general people, not as much as let's say like money, like finance. So if people were more interested in art, then there might be there might be more chances for those hidden artists to be exposed. I think that's what matters, and uh, more. I don't know if the word aggressive is the right word, but more like aggressive newsletters or like, hey, there's this event, hey, there's this grant opportunity, hey, there's fellowship opportunity to like keep coming up on the surface so the artists can see them and challenge themselves and take them. I think I think those yeah, more opportunities and more like reputational things. Yeah, that's what I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. What is your biggest pet peeve as an artist?
Pet peeve. Uh, when I get impatient, I get annoyed at myself. Like sit down, like just draw. Like okay, like and I'm like, really, like I don't want to work on it anymore. And then like, there's like hundreds of projects that I need to revisit because I get impatient and get mad. Like that's weird pet peeve that I have of myself.
Okay. What is your current mantra?
Ooh, current mantra. Trust the process.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trust
Yeah.
the process.
Yeah. It's again like I could get impatient sometimes, and I'm like, trust the process. Just go through it. And it's funny because definitely I'm putting a lot of or turning my emotions into artwork, and those emotions can include like anxiety. A lot of people suffer from it because you're overthinking, you're always worried, and Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. And I just, yeah, and I try to tell myself, like, you know, trust the
Trust the
process,
process.
take deep breaths.
I love that. That's a good one. You go back in time to your younger self and you can only say one sentence to yourself. What would you say?
Okay, one, like this one's more important. Don't worry too much about what other people think or say about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
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 But if I want to be practical, I'll tell drop out of that school.
Don't go in there. Medium style would you like to try in the future?
Interactive art.
Okay.
Like I actually did a mini project, but it's like student level, so I can't show it. But there are a lot of game engines, so you can make your character and color, decorate, they call it texture, your character, animate it, and just like playing games, when you press a button, your character can move, or you can make something to happen, like trigger an event to happen. I think that will be a fun and more realistic and dynamic way to tell a story or story about your artwork.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Love that. Cool.
My website is yujinson.com, my full name, yujinson.com. My Instagram, it's at son lowercase nyx. And yeah.